Hello everyone! I hope that you're doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Boom Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. As always, I'm so grateful that you're listening, subscribing and commenting. I really appreciate the support. And in this one I wanted to kind of just speak to you about, because a bunch of you asked me, what is the quarantine situation like in Mexico? So I wanted to kind of tell you a little bit about what's going on here. Maybe you're interested, maybe you're not. Either way, I thought I'd share. So just to give you a brief synopsis of what happened. So I was in Thailand and then March hit and all the flights were being closed down and I decided, okay, let me move back home with my parents in Canada because I was worried about them, and if something happened to them and I wasn't able to get to them, I would be a little bit upset about it. So I was like, all right, let's go there. I was there until December, so that's 9 months. That was a long time to be in Canada. I haven't been in Canada that long in a while. And then I decided, okay, I haven't been in winter in Canada in a while, and I don't think I could do a whole full winter there. And so I was like, as soon as it started getting really, really cold, I was like, all right, where can I go? I started looking at all the options. I could not go back to Thailand yet because it's extremely difficult, extremely expensive. They've made all these rules about quarantining. You have to go and quarantine at a state-specified hotel. And they kind of range from expensive to very expensive, right? Like the minimum that I would pay in order to quarantine at a hotel there would be $2,000 for 2 weeks. So that's a lot just for 2 weeks. And yeah, they would provide all the food and all that stuff, but it still seems like an exorbitant amount of money for something that I didn't think was feasible or important yet. I'll look into it more when May or July comes in, but right now it's like, all right, let me find something in North America that's open and it's allowing visitors but doesn't have a lot of cases and is pretty safe and pretty cheap, or cheapish enough. And so of course I looked at Costa Rica first because Costa Rica, like, it would be amazing. It's green, lots of delicious fresh fruit and vegetables, and it's beautiful and it's environmentally friendly. I love everything about Costa Rica. But I was looking at apartments there and it didn't seem like it would be feasible. There wasn't anything that I could stay in comfortably. And also their requirements were a little bit higher as well. They needed insurance and things like that. And so then I started looking at Mexico, and then there's lots of places in Mexico I could go to, obviously. There's so many different places. Oh, actually I was looking at Antigua, Guatemala as well. It's a really cute little town, mountain town, really pretty. I really liked living there when I did live there in the past. I think I was there for a month about 8 years ago. And it's beautiful. I don't know how much has changed since then. But that didn't work out either. And so I started looking at different parts of Mexico, and then I looked at Tulum, I looked at Oaxaca, I looked at Guadalajara, Mexico City, and Puerto Vallarta. Sayulita actually is Puerto Vallarta. And so I looked at all these places, and finally I realized, okay, I really want to be in nature. I don't want to be in a city. I want to be in nature. I want to be surrounded by greenery, and if I can be next to a beach, that's a bonus. And so of course all of those cities were canceled except Oaxaca, I think, is next to a city, next to an ocean. But I wasn't really excited about that. And Tulum, I wasn't really excited about either, but Puerto Vallarta or Sayulita I was really excited about. So I was like, all right, let's just do that, right? So my sister and I moved to Mexico in December 10th. Only for a few months. No, I don't know how long, but it's only been a month and a bit now, and it's been really interesting. Anyway, so one of the first questions that obviously we asked ourselves is, are we going to have to quarantine when we get to Mexico? Because if we would have to, it would be a little bit difficult to get food and all that stuff, to get groceries. We didn't know if people deliver. It's not as well set up as in North America. So the first thing we had to ask was, is there a self-quarantine that you have to do when you come into Mexico? And the answer was no, you don't have to. You can come into Mexico as a tourist or as a traveler and start roaming around the cities as soon as you come into the city. Now, one of the things they do very well in the city, in Mexico, in all the cities I've been in Mexico right now, is that they check your temperature everywhere. So they have these like stands, which, you kind of put your arm against it and it checks your temperature, or your head against it and it checks your temperature. And they have them everywhere. If you're going into a mall, they check your temperature. There's someone standing there checking your temperature, or they have that thing. And they have hand sanitizer everywhere. And then they have these things where you clean the bottom of your feet using some sanitizing thing as well. So you have to step into this pool of little sanitized liquid, and then you step off of it, and then you go off on your way. And so every time I've gone into a bank, I've gotten my temperature checked. Every time I've gone into a mall, I've gotten my temperature checked. Grocery stores, temperature checked. Anywhere really, like you get your temperature checked everywhere, which maybe for the asymptomatic patients is not asymptomatic COVID sufferers, it's not such a big deal because you don't get high fever and all that stuff in that. For most people though, it's a great idea because it means that for sure that everyone in the mall or in the bank doesn't have high fever. They probably are not carrying COVID, right? Or the coronavirus. Now, I'm not an expert on this, but this is how they've been alleviating it here. Everyone here is absolutely wearing a mask, almost everyone. They do sometimes wear it like off the nose and only on the mouth, because it does probably get suffocating for them. It is a little bit hot here. But mostly I do notice that people are wearing masks and they're being good about it, and they have their children with masks as well, and they're using hand sanitizer as much as possible. And again, temperatures being checked. So in general, I feel, I don't know what the numbers are like in Mexico. I'm guessing they're higher in the bigger cities for sure. But in Puerto Vallarta, I don't know what the numbers are like, but it doesn't seem like it would be that bad here. Also, I've heard this said over and over again that if it's a warmer country, then the numbers are not that bad. The cold seems to exacerbate the virus and its symptom and its spread. So maybe that's actually helping Mexico as well because it's pretty warm here. Although they are having a cold spell, but that's nothing like the cold in the UK or in Canada, of course, right? And so that's basically the essence of how people are protecting themselves. For me and my sister, we usually don't go out that much at all. Like, I'm not a partier at all. I don't go out. I'm in bed by 8 p.m. max, and I'm asleep. I'm like sleeping there. I have no idea what's going on in the world. My phone is off, I'm dead to the world, and then I wake up to do my practice. And so basically I'm literally sitting in my apartment all day long working. I go out to do these videos obviously because I want to give you a feel of the city a bit, but I usually wear my mask. I'm always usually with my mask and hand sanitizer obviously. And then in general, the only places we do go inside for are to get money from an ATM or to grab groceries, really. Besides that, I haven't gone inside a store at all because it's just not useful and not necessary. And so we've been careful, and hopefully hopefully everything works out in the future. I feel like Mexico's doing a really good job with protecting their citizens from the coronavirus. I feel like they're doing all that they can. If their citizens don't listen, then they can't really do anything about it, obviously. But they do have signs everywhere, wash your hands for 20 seconds, put on your mask properly. This is not how you put it. This is not how you put it. Put it on your nose and your mouth. Use hand sanitizer. And if you have a temperature or a fever, don't go anywhere. Go to a doctor or stay at home. So they do have like signs like that everywhere. So hopefully, people are getting more aware of it and, they're following the rules. But I do notice that one of the things that really irks me about the tourists that are coming in is that they do not wear masks. There's a lot of American tourists, a lot of Caucasian tourists, I should say, or tourists in general that I notice walking on the streets, and they just don't wear masks. They're in cabs with the taxi drivers. The taxi driver has a mask on, they don't have masks on. Or they're walking around on the street, they don't have masks on. And I'm just a little bit surprised because I don't know if they don't believe that the coronavirus is real, or if that they don't care that they're going to transmit it to someone else, or that they don't think that they have it, so it doesn't really matter. But it feels really disrespectful to me, at least. I always say, even if you don't believe it's true, at least wear the mask so that you can protect others from you or yourself from others, right? What's a big deal in wearing a mask, really? It's not a big deal. Or at least that's what I think, and I'm sure you'll disagree with me. But I really do not like it or appreciate it when I see all of the locals wearing masks and all of the tourists not wearing them. It feels like such a disrespectful turn of events, especially when they've welcomed you into the country when they really could have shut down the whole country. But of course, they need the tourism income, so they haven't. That's one of the things that really irks me. I walk around and I'm like, please put your mask on. You might not think it's useful, but who knows what's true and what's not true anymore. So that's my basic spiel, and I didn't expect this video to be that long. I was just going to say a couple of things. As you can tell, I love to talk. So anyways, this is what's going on in Mexico right now. Very simple, very, very basic, nothing major. So if you have any questions about it, obviously let me know. And I'm really grateful to you for being on my channel. I appreciate your support. and I shall see you the next time around. Bye for now.